Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Afzal Shad and I will be giving you the brief introduction of myself. Today we are going to discuss about A levels business. The paper code is 9609 for that. A quick overview. I've gone through MBA Finance, CCMA from UK, and then have been doing MS in Management, and the course theme is Islamic Banking. Regarding certifications, I have been certified Oracle Financial Accountant and Manager, and I've got the certified Restaurant Financial Consultant degree. Along with that, I have been involved in training sessions by Cambridge International in business studies, specifically starting from IGCSE business studies and then from A levels business studies. Then, with an experience, I initiated my career in 2004 with National Logistics Cell in the finance department, worked with their account management and their financial managements, then worked with Tehzeeb, the ROS.pk, then started my career in education sector specifically, and in education sector started my career from DHI education system, then been working with benchmark education system, and then right now I am pretty amazed to be the part of Learn at Click as well. We're targeting about if there is a business teacher, obviously the business teacher must have to come with some practical things, and these are some of the brands which I have crafted and initiated, which are actually running with success with the passage of time. Talking about the previous results, I have got, Alhamdulillah, some of my students have been very phenomenal. In fact, they have got the A's and A stars, and most of the students were able to secure more than C grade in their business A levels, AS and A2 both. So in the last year, Alhamdulillah, we have got a distinction by Mohed Ahmed, who has got a countrywide distinction while getting his education in Bahrain. So he was my regular student and he is my regular student in the university levels as well, but Alhamdulillah, we have got distinction in the last year too. Okay, coming back to the A-levels business introduction. In A-levels business, we are supposed to discuss about, it is basically a 100-based exam course. We will be discussing about the business environment, human resource management, marketing, operational management, and finance and accounts. So these are mainly the 5 different sections which we'll be discussing about. Talking about the papers, in AS level, we go through paper 1 and paper 2. 40 marks for paper 1, 60 marks for paper 2, total is 100 marks. So the paper 1 is about the basic business concepts, paper 2 is about the business concept, but a background information is given to you in terms of case study. Then in A2, paper 3 and paper 4 are involved. In paper 3 and paper 4 both are case study based questions. Paper 3 is about business decision making and paper 4 is about the business strategy. Alright, during the classes, I expect you to be regular with me. I will be assigning some of the activities, some of the exam style questions to you, which you will have to attempt. And if you attempt those questions, the target is to basically find out the gaps whenever we are attempting these questions. Generally saying, business studies is not a very difficult subject, but talking about the paper and the paper structure, and specifically the style of attention does matter as well. So that means whenever we are appearing in A-level business, there is an extensive requirement of practicing the past papers, and when you will be attempt these worksheets, these assignments, I'll be able to find out the gaps and will be rectifying those things very easily. So that is the thing which we are supposed to do. Routine quizzes will be there. Every Friday is mostly allocated for the test, but that can be adjusted. If you are online student, specifically the student of LAC, you have to be regular in the classes, because once you are not present in the class, obviously the lessons are going to be shared with you, the recorded lessons are there for you. That is kind of a convenience, but I would still suggest to be the part of the live class so that you will be able to discuss the things with me. If you are unable to grasp the concept, you can discuss those. If we are discussing the past paper questions, that will be an easier thing for you to discuss if there is any gap when coming in. For instance, if I am telling you some further analysis and you are not understanding that concept, you can there and then ask, and we will be upgrading those things over there. Then you have to be obviously ready for the things which are coming in. There will be some of the assignments, some of the quizzes coming in to you, so that all of these things are designed in a manner so that you can improvise yourself for the final CAEs. Talking about a quick lesson, which it is just a demo lesson for you, a short 5 minutes demo lesson, so that you can have an idea that how the things have been discussed in the classroom. It will be a generic idea for you. Obviously, when the class goes on, there is a lot of discussions involved in the classroom, so obviously that is kind of an interactive session, but over here I'm giving you an idea that how the things can be covered. There is a topic in motivation which is all about the motivational theorists. So whenever there was the focus was on the human resources, so people try to develop the motivation amongst them, and we believe that if motivation level of some person is increased, the efficiencies obviously increase along with that. So in Maslow was a theorist. He gave us the theory of hierarchy of needs. The name of the theorist is Maslow, and the name of the theory is hierarchy of needs. Is one of the most common theories been used by the psychologists and in the business studies, and in behavioral sciences it is used a lot. So according to Maslow, a human actually divide his needs into 5 different levels specifically. The very first thing which a human being look for is the physiological needs, the very basic need. For instance, food, water, shelter, clothing. These are the first level needs which any human being asks for. If these needs are met, he start looking for the next level of needs, which is called as the safety needs. And how do you define safety? Safety is all about the environment safety, job safety. Wherever you are working, you should be in a secure environment. You should be having a proper defensive and secured equipment along with you. Talking about the safety in employment, your job must be secure, a long-term contract must be given to you. So a person, when the physiological needs are met, they look in for the safety needs. Then once the safety needs are matched, they get the permanent job or a long-term contract in the job, they got a brand image, and they know that they are going to be hired easily because they've got the skills. The next thing which they look forward is the love and belonging, or in other words we call it socialization skills, the social skills. And what are the social skills? The social skills are basically the need to make friends, to need to make teams, need to interact with people, so that you can develop your communication skill with others. So how can you make the social skills enhanced in a human being? So team working is one of the way out for that. We will discuss that later in the next slide. So social need is what a person looks for. So once a person is having a secure job, the next thing they look for is to join the clubs and the societies so that he can interact with more number of people. For instance, let's suppose that all of these needs are met. He has got a very good followership. He have got a very good circle of friends and teams and colleagues. What will happen then? He's looking for the self-esteem. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is basically recognizing yourself, or getting yourself recognized. Make yourself a brand, right? Just like the businesses are the brands, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Hardee's are the brands. Similarly, you try to make yourself a brand, so that is called as the self-esteem. So when the human beings want them to be recognized through the certificates, through giving them a proper office, making their environment of the office upgraded. For instance, talk about a manager in a company, you will see mostly that those managers are having a separate workstations for them, separate offices for them, with a proper well-lit, air-conditioned and heating systems in it, with a proper seating arrangement in it. So what is this? This is the self-esteem. You are recognizing that this is a manager and has got a status in our organization. So in short, self-esteem is all about status and recognition of a human being. Then once all of these needs are met, the human being looks for the final level, which is called as self-actualization. What is self-actualization? He wants to give his full. He wants to achieve the maximum efficiency of himself. He don't care about people. What he care about is giving his best in this life. So that is called as self-actualization, giving the maximum potential of a human being. So that is called as the level of self-actualization. Now the question is, how would you satisfy these needs if some employee joins your organization or is applying in your organization? The question is, how would you identify the level of that human being first? That at which level that human being is targeting for? Level 1 physiological, level 2 safety, level 3 social needs, or some other level. So let's talk about the physiological need. A person who is targeting the physiological or the basic needs, how can you fulfill that? How can you motivate that person? So by paying the salaries which is enough to meet the essential needs, giving them the minimum wage rates, or giving them a kind of financial benefits through bonuses or such type of things. So that way physiological needs can be easily met. If somebody is targeting for the safety needs, by giving them the contract of employment, a long-term contract can be awarded to that person, so his safety need will be met over there. There should be a clear hierarchy to reduce the uncertainty, so he should know when he is going to be promoted to the next level and whether his job is secure or not. And then healthcare and safety conditions are supposed to be met in an organization, so it should be a proper, well lit, and hygienic element should be there. So now a person comes in and he's targeting for the social needs. How would you meet these needs of an employee? So the person who is targeting for the social needs, you can make that person work in teams. You ensure that there is a good communication with that person so that he can communicate with his team and his mates very easily, freely, as and when he wants it. So by through the team working is a very interesting and very, you can say, it's a solution to the problem when a specific person is looking in for such kind of needs. Coming towards the esteem needs, esteem is all about the recognition which we have talked about. So esteem needs can be fulfilled through appreciation letters, through promotions, and through giving them the employee of the month. So you might have seen, you might have entered into a restaurant or a fast food chain, and you might have seen a picture hanging in over there with a title employee of the month. So why is this there? Because they want to recognize that efforts of that particular employee. And any employee who is targeting for the esteem needs, so you can fulfill these esteem needs through such kind of things. Now talking about the self-actualization, how can you meet how can you actually cater the needs of a person who is targeting at self-actualization? So self-actualization is giving the full and maximum potential of a human being. And for instance, if an employee wants to give his best to the organization, it is already recognized, he is also having a good team, a good followership in his company, so that person will be looking for giving his maximum potential. So how can you make use of that particular person? So by giving him more challenges, more change, less formal processes. So give them challenging tasks, allow him to change the things, allow him to give them the flexibility in terms of timing, in terms of contracts. We will discuss this flexibility thing in detail as well in the later slides. Less formal process should be there for that particular person, and then gain control by giving it. That's one of the important things. So you normally gain control by giving it to the people. Let him decide the things by himself, let her decide the things by herself. If that person is deciding his timings, if that person is deciding his way of style of working, at the end of the day you need the output. And if the output is met, that person is targeting to give his full potential. And if he is targeting that, he will give you results better than what you are setting up the target for that particular person. So self-actualization can be met by giving the challenging task to the person and by allowing a little bit of flexibility for that particular person. So let's do that quick recall. Physiological needs can be met through paying the minimum salaries. Safety can be met through in developing a good environment and giving a long-term contract. Social needs can be met by allowing a person to work in the teams. Esteem needs can be met by appreciation letters, employee of the month type of schemes. Then self-actualization can be met by giving them the challenging tasks, and then allowing him a certain or her a certain type level of flexibility. So that's how you can cater the needs of the employees. What will happen if you cater this? Employees will be motivated, and if employees are motivated, at the end of the day you are going to get the benefit of it in terms of efficiency and the performance. So that was all from my side. So this was a kind of a brief introduction of the style, how do I actually deliver the lessons. Obviously when we do that in the classroom, this is more interactive. Over here, as it was the recorded session, there was quite a limitations involved. So thank you very much for your time. Inshallah we will catch up in the class. Allah Hafiz from my side.